Today I'm in a 21 Plus F-150. As you can see, I have a Raptor steering wheel installed. We actually did the heated steering wheel upgrade as well as the paddle shift upgrade. If you're interested in seeing how I did that, you're gonna wanna stick around. I'm gonna show you how to install it. All right, now before we go ahead and install our leather wrap steering wheel, I do wanna mention we do offer the Raptor version heated steering wheel, which gives you paddle shifters. So if you opted for the paddle shifter version heated wheel, this set of instructions is going to be for you. Basically, the install of the steering wheel will be exactly the same, but this will include another harness for that paddle shift. There's two variants. One variation will be if you previously got our conversion kit to convert your column shift to a console shifter. That's going to be this shorter length of wiring here, because you already have a pass-through harness that we previously installed with the console shifter upgrade. This is going to tie into that existing harness. If you didn't get that upgrade and you have a console shifter from the factory, you're going to need to use this harness, which actually mates to your console shifter wiring down right next to the shifter. Actually, it's off on the left-hand side. You're going to have to pull this apart, run those wires down and up to your steering column, and these wires right here will get pinned into your existing steering column connection here. But being that we already have the column shift to console shifter upgrade or shifter conversion, our wiring is present at the steering column. So all I have to do is find that pass-through that we used earlier. I'm gonna tap into that pass-through with this pass-through, and then that's gonna give us the 3 pin points to pin into our existing connection, and that's going to get the paddle shift data to get down to our shifter. So it's going to recognize the shifts when you're doing it. So let me get into a little bit of detail on this. I'll plug in this pass-through and show you how this whole thing works. All right, so where I'm going to start is actually at the pinning process. So if you can see, we have 3 wires here. On each one, it is labeled with what pin it gets pinned into on this gray connector. So you can see we got 5, pin 6, and pin 7. And on that other length of wire, if you did have the console shifter only and you have this extra long connection, the wires that are getting pinned in are identical. So this is going to be the same instructions for both of those harnesses. But basically what we're going to do is unplug this main gray connector right on the side here, and if you're looking, clip on the top side and wire side in. If you're looking from the back side forward, this first, it's actually the second one in, but this first wire right here, this is pin 1, goes all the way down to pin 9, and then down here is pin 10, goes all the way down to pin 18. These 2 outside ones are not used, so you don't count those. So you're starting 1 through 9. This is going to be 5 right here, 6 and 7 are the ones that you're concerned with. So in order to get this pinned in there, what we're going to do is we're going to pop this little lock off, which you can do this pretty easy with a flathead. There you go. Once you pull this lock out, you don't have to completely snap it off or remove it, but once it's separated like that, it's going to allow us to click these into place. Let me make sure I'm doing it right here. We got number 5. Go right in here. We got number 6 and number 7. And these will only go in one way. If they're hard to slide in or they don't want to slide in, flip it over, try it the other way. It should be nice and easy. Once those are in, you can go ahead and push this connector lock back down. All right, just like that, and we're good to go. All right, and once you have those pinned in, you're free to plug that back in, and we'll run this down to our connection down here. Unplug that and plug this pass-through in. That's basically all we need to do under here. I'm going to throw a couple zip ties on here to keep it nice and tidy. All right, and we're good to install our steering wheel now. All right, we can go ahead and plug in our steering wheel connectors, our heated steering wheel portion of the connectors. These are for our airbag, and we have our horn switch. We can go ahead and tighten that down with our impact. Right now we're ready for the airbag. You're just going to snap those back in just like they were, and make sure to press those orange locks down in the center and you'll be good to go. Slide this back into place and click that down, and our horn doesn't work because our battery terminal is still disconnected. All right, and then from here we're ready to reinstall all the plastics that we previously removed, our steering column cover and knee bolster. Then we can head to the front, reconnect our negative battery terminal, and test out these newly installed paddle shifters. All right, so we got the Raptor wheel completely installed. Again, this upgrade doesn't require any programming. It's just our harness with the steering wheel and you'll be good to go. You do need programming for the heated portion of this upgrade, but you can get this as a standalone if you just wanted the paddle shift. Also, as a reminder, if your buttons on your steering wheel look different from the ones that were included with your steering wheel, make sure to swap those over so you retain all your functionality. Now, once it's installed and you throw it in drive, you can see we can actually put it in manual mode and you can cycle through the gears that way. Or if you just have it in drive, you can see your 10-speed automatic and you can actually cycle through those gears. When you're doing it this way, this is actually going to hold the gear that you're on. So let's say I have it in third, it'll get to third and it'll just hold it there. You can manually shift down or up from that point. This will also protect yourself from downshifting to a gear that's too low. So if you're way too high up in the RPM range and you try to downshift, it actually won't let you do it. So you have nothing to worry about there. You're not going to screw anything up. But yeah, pretty convenient, pretty handy. If you off-road, this is also especially convenient. So you can just kind of toggle through the lower gears, 1, 2, and 3. I don't think you'd go into anything higher off-roading, but you can hold those gears, so it makes it a nice little convenient at your fingertip control when you're off-road. All right, so we're in our F-150. We're taking a spin with our new upgrade. As you can see, I'm locked in manual mode 4. Now I just went to manual mode 5. You can downshift, upshift, or if you remove it from manual mode, you can see we have all gears here lit up. I can actually restrict the gear by downshifting. So let's do 4. So now it'll just stay in 4. All the other gears are grayed out until we're ready to allow the vehicle to shift into that range again. So a pretty nifty little upgrade. If I throw it back in manual mode, you'll see it'll automatically shift to that last gear that we're in. And then we can literally change gears just like if we're driving a manual transmission vehicle. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the install. So if you're in the market for a heated steering wheel already, you should probably consider the paddle shift as an additional upgrade. It's not that much more price point wise, but you get a lot more beneficial features with that upgrade. If you like this video and you want to see more just like it, be sure to check out our infotainment YouTube channel as well as our website, infotainment.com. Thanks for watching.